Vigo demanded an explanation, asking Ghislain to reveal his identity, if not the captain. Ghislain replied that he had abandoned his past and now served as Ghislain's subordinate. The declaration angered Vigo, who charged forward, vowing to kill Ghislain at any cost. Ghislain parried the attacks as Vigo pressed his sword into the shield. Vigo revealed that the mercenary company had disbanded after Ghislain's departure, lamenting that he had lost his purpose and fallen into a disgraceful existence just to survive. Ghislain deflected the sword and countered with a swing of his axe. Vigo evaded by dropping low and quickly retaliated with a kick, which Ghislain blocked with his wooden shield, though the shield shattered under the force. Vigo expressed his frustration, explaining that he had dedicated his entire life to making the Ratatosk mercenaries the best in history. He voiced disbelief that his former captain had abandoned everything, only to become a mere pawn of a spoiled noble. Drawing several blades, he imbued them with mana and hurled them toward Ghislain. Ghislain intercepted the attack with his axe, but as he did so, Vigo closed the gap and attempted to stab him. Ghislain narrowly dodged the strike and countered with an overhead swing of his axe. Vigo landed just in time to block with his sword, smiling at the exchange. The clash between them grew more intense, with both men exchanging fierce blows. Vigo believed that Ghislain had not changed from the captain he once admired, though he viewed him as weakened by his years spent searching for a cure for his daughter. In contrast, Vigo claimed to have grown stronger through countless battles. He believed that Ghislain was no longer his equal. Ghislain unleashed a massive swing, which Vigo dodged by leaping over him. Using his sword for leverage, he flipped and landed behind Ghislain. Wasting no time, Vigo kicked the blades Ghislain had previously blocked, sending them hurtling back toward him. Ghislain used his armor to deflect the projectiles, but as he did, Vigo charged at him. Ghislain anticipated the attack and swung his axe, but Vigo evaded once again, taunting that the fight was over. In response, Ghislain channeled mana into his hand and caught Vigo's blade mid-strike. This act stunned Vigo, who was left speechless as he realized Ghislain had been holding back. Ghislain asked if Vigo's pursuit of vengeance was driven by hatred, but Vigo did not answer. Instead, he stared in disbelief at Ghislain's use of mana to seize the blade. Ghislain then slammed the head of his axe into Vigo's face, sending him flying into a nearby tree. Standing over his fallen opponent, Ghislain remarked that he did not understand Vigo's actions. He pointed out that Vigo had many opportunities to exact revenge if that was his true intent. Questioning his motives, Ghislain asked why Vigo had not sought him out sooner. Vigo laughed bitterly, admitting that he had already visited Ghislain's former residence, but had found only a feeble old man unworthy of death. With anger in his voice, Vigo demanded to know what had become of the Ghislain he once revered. Ghislain tossed Vigo's dagger to the ground and instructed him to pick it up. He declared that he was now merely a body bound to another's will. Unsheathing his sword, Ghislain promised to grant his former comrade the highest level of respect, even in their confrontation. Ghislain declared that he would take action as the captain of the Ratatosk mercenaries, a statement that brought visible satisfaction to Vigo. Picking up his dagger, Vigo charged at him. Ghislain blocked the attack, and Vigo expressed his joy at finally experiencing the fight he had long desired. The intensity of the battle increased as Vigo attacked more fiercely, but Ghislain held his ground. With a powerful swing, Ghislain aimed to end the fight, but Vigo dodged by dropping low and countered swiftly. Ghislain parried the attack with his axe, forcing Vigo's dagger downward before driving his sword into Vigo's ribs. Despite the injury, Vigo gritted his teeth and retaliated. Ghislain evaded and raised his axe high, pausing momentarily to acknowledge Vigo as the 5th unit commander of the Ratatosk mercenaries, referring to him by his full name, Vigo Villanos. Hearing this, Vigo smiled, but the expression was fleeting as Ghislain plunged his blade into him, ending his life. With Vigo's lifeless body at his feet, Ghislain picked up the dagger and stood silently, gazing at his fallen comrade. Ghislain commended Ghislain's efforts, and Belinda remarked on the potential profit from looting the wildcats. Ghislain apologized to Ghislain for causing unnecessary delays, but Ghislain reassured him, expressing admiration for his exceptional skills. Reflecting on his early days as a mercenary, Ghislain admitted that stories about Ghislain from his seniors had inspired him and helped lay the foundation for his rise to becoming the Mercenary King. This encounter confirmed to Ghislain that recruiting Ghislain had been the right decision, as he had gained a reliable ally. Ghislain then asked Ghislain if he remembered who Vigo had been. Ghislain raised Vigo's sword and replied that Vigo had been an old comrade. These words resonated deeply with Ghislain, prompting him to reflect on his own former comrades. He wondered where they were and what lives they were leading, knowing that their paths had diverged long before meeting him. Resolving to reconnect with them one day, Ghislain instructed the group to follow Belinda's suggestion and gather anything valuable from the Wildcats. Belinda ordered Ghislain to lead the collection efforts, but Ghislain curtly reminded her that he was not her subordinate. 2 days later, the group reached Perdium territory. Belinda, visibly relieved, commented on their arrival. Ghislain looked at the city ahead and asked Ghislain if it was Perdium. Ghislain confirmed it, feeling a sense of contentment at returning home. He reflected on how, when he had first run away, he believed he could return any time. As Ghislain studied the county, Ghislain asked for his opinion. Startled, Ghislain nervously responded that it seemed great. Ghislain, however, disagreed. He pointed out that the houses were outdated and renovations were impossible. He revealed that the fields lay uncultivated because the farmers had been conscripted into the military, leaving the land barren. Ghislain remarked that he had heard of Perdium's perpetual conflict with the northern barbarians, but admitted the situation was worse than expected. Ghislain affirmed the dire circumstances, but expressed determination to fix the issues. Turning to Ghislain, he declared that he needed his strength to make it happen. Both Belinda and Ghislain were surprised by this sudden appeal. Ghislain understood that the upcoming battle would be a long and arduous one, a fight to eradicate everything tied to Duke Delphine and to safeguard what had been taken for granted. Resolute, he vowed to restore the land, no matter the cost. As the group entered the county, Belinda noticed something unusual and urged her master to look ahead. When Ghislain lifted his gaze, he saw a figure he hadn't expected. The silhouette was unmistakable, a man in armor with a coat draped over his shoulder. It was his father. At Perdium Castle, several men were gathered, engaged in discussion with the Count.
So, friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next? We'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.